I zone out, and then I'm like, I guess I have to re-listen for 3 minutes.
Yeah,
to,
so then I prefer just like actually reading it. But yeah, no, I'm caught up, and then I feel like I always like every couple weeks I call Jay and I'm like, so listen to the podcast, and I was like yelling at it because I wanted to like chime in because it's like
Oh, that's so cute.
Okay,
I don't know that Jay finds it cute.
All right, well then welcome back to the Side Dish Podcast, guys. I'm your host Aaron Shin, joined as always by my co-host Jay Lee.
Hey,
and our special guest Kaylee, Jay Lee's sister.
Hello,
welcome. Kay, I've heard so much about you.
Likewise.
Through Jay. I've heard of Denise, obviously. I heard about your guys' trip to Jeju when you were kids and you rode horses and all that shit. I heard about some childhood like movies you guys would bond over.
Yes.
I feel like our upbringings were very similar. I also have a sister your age, so I have a Nuna. And so welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. What a treat.
Of course. Speaking of family trips, you guys are going on one in like tomorrow.
Like 24 hours.
Yeah.
24 hours. Yeah, we're going to Busan. Just bought the tickets yesterday. I think technically we're kind of on one at the moment.
That's true.
Well,
That's true.
I'm not because I live here, but...
and they're here visiting you? Is that kind of...
Yeah.
Right.
In large part.
Yeah.
Is that the narrative that we're spinning?
Yeah, no, that was definitely the driving point.
When was the last time you were in Korea?
2018.
So you've never
In the fall.
been here when your brother was living here,
No,
basically?
yeah,
Okay.
because we have a young toddler, so we've been like pushing it off because we were avoiding flying with him. But
Yeah. Is this your first time flying with your son?
yes.
Oh, so
Ooh,
how was that?
It was
You can dish. I mean, that's this whole podcast. We want you to complain about
No
having
offense,
a kid.
but we all know that babies on planes are...
no, it's so shitty.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Did you have
so
like a
shitty.
bag of like
No,
goodies
and
to give out to
every
people?
Fear that I had about flying with a toddler or a young child and like the like negative experience that you had, like that is what happened
Oh,
on
shit.
the flight. So I mean, he went to bed maybe 5 hours past his bedtime, and then he woke up in the middle of our overnight flight. The lights were off.
Yeah.
Everyone is like sleeping.
Yeah.
And he woke up uncomfortable or like disoriented, and he cried for maybe an hour and a half straight. And it was like scream crying.
Dude,
and
that's the worst.
I mean, nothing
Just
was
have to
making
give
him
money
feel
to
better.
people at
Yeah,
that
no,
point.
and like the flight attendants were coming back. We were on Korean Air, and they were like, "Oh, like, Eki 괜찮으세요?"
Yeah.
And they're like, "Does he want some juice?" And we're like, "It's really not a good time to really offer anything." Like, and she did ask, and he was like, and like he turned into a velociraptor.
Oh my gosh.
It was
Yeah, you're here now, and you're not going to go back because
no,
of
we're
flight
moving
back.
here. We're having our stuff
and you're
shipped here,
leaving.
so we don't have to go back.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then experience that again.
No,
until
leave
he's
Ben
like
with Uncle
12.
Jay. Yeah, Jay will take care of
maybe
him.
we'll send him back with Jay in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because I'm gonna go back.
Dude, you should
God,
travel
that would
with
be
your
a
nephew solo dolo. That'd be.
Fucking great experience. Yeah.
You know what it'd be, Jay?
Yeah.
You would just learn a lot about, adulting or some
Myself?
shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just don't know that I would do that to you.
Yeah, force it upon him. Yeah. Has Ben had COVID yet?
No.
Okay, good.
Well,
Nice.
like, thanks for asking, because I feel like we just jinxed it.
I know. Well, it's gonna happen at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my sister has 3 kids, and like, dude,
Oh my God.
they've had COVID like 4 times now. It's
3 kids.
It's really gnarly.
It's
yeah.
like hard to avoid when you're in school. And stuff
Right?
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this new family trip, right? The next one, you guys are going where? Busan?
Yeah. So we're going to Busan, and it's our first family trip since I was kind of like going back through our photos in 2017, like
What was
5
2017?
New Orleans.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and I kind of forgot about that
I
because
totally forgot about
we
that.
had taken a big trip to Spain in 2015 or so,
Just
2014.
Oh, yes. We went to
Yeah, but our
Yes,
first big
yeah.
trip.
What year did you and your husband get married?
2017.
Okay, so
It was right I remember, I think it was right after we got engaged, and then we got married later that fall when we went to New Orleans.
Yeah, it's really random.
It was short. It was short.
I don't know if that it counts. I don't know why I brought it up.
I mean, also New Orleans is such a funny like destination for a family to go to.
Yeah, so my dad had a convention there that he was attending, and so then he was
that's not a family vacation then. That's a work trip that you got other people to come on with you.
Yeah, we piggybacked onto his trip. But it gave us the opportunity to go somewhere random. Like,
That's cool.
I don't think that we would ever choose to go there.
I've never been to NOLA, but I heard there's a lot of titties. It's not a family-friendly city.
I did not see very many titties.
Okay.
I didn't see any. I mean, I was with my sisters. and family, so it would have been.
Well, also we weren't there during Mardi Gras,
Right.
Okay, facts.
so
Yeah,
I don't
but if
really-
we were, we would have seen all the
You,
titties.
dude, hell
would just
yeah.
love to see
and
the
probably
look
a
on my
few
mom's
dicks
face,
too. I mean, honestly,
Heavies.
this is the
we
greatest.
did go on a like a swamp kind of like a
swamp tour. Yeah,
swamp tour, and we're the only Asian people there, and felt very
I was. Yeah.
uncomfortable being there.
Yeah, because everyone's looking at you instead of the swamp things, right?
Well, I was hyper aware that I was Asian.
Yeah, and it's because of like different comments like we'd be going through and then the tour guide would point out like this huge goldfish or something that was an invasive species from China
Nice.
that just ruined
Love
like
it, dude.
the ecosystem.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
like
yeah.
a different tree here that was also from
this
China.
fish's offspring actually
and for
curves
some
the
reason he
grades.
was looking us all directly in the eye while
don't
he was
think we
saying
were
that.
imagining it.
I don't think we'll get that in Busan for some reason. Yeah.
No, he'll be like, this is the Kyopo fish and it's invading the Korean
No, I know.
peninsula.
I'll be like, oh, these
Maybe.
fucking Kyopos. Yeah.
Okay, so then we're not going to count NOLA as like the big one, but this 2015 Spain trip sounds like a real family affair, right?
It was because we were there for 2 weeks. or
At
something?
least 2
That's
weeks.
too long.
Honestly, it
family?
was.
To be traveling with family.
I
No,
do.
it was like a true family trip in the way that there were highs and lows and fights. And
Totally.
we
Yeah.
rented a car as a family, which I do not advise.
A stick shift car driving through the mountains of southern France where
Was that at least like a bigger car or?
it was a
Absolutely
tiny,
not.
tiny
No,
car. It
I
could
feel like
barely
in my mind
fit-
it was a Fiat.
and it was,
or
you know,
close
it
to
could
it.
barely fit us five. And it was me and my dad were switching off driving. And anytime I drove, I think I'm a pretty good driver. It's a stick shift car, so you kind of have to downshift going downhill. And like, anytime my dad drove, I gave him shit. Anytime I drove, he
Oh,
gave me a lot of shit.
you guys are that kind. Like you guys are commenting on people's driving, huh?
To say the least. Yeah.
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 Oh shit.
There was
dude.
I was actually just talking about this with our mom. And there was another leg of the trip that we were going to rent. I think the car was in
right.
France,
Yeah.
and we were going to rent another car in Spain for that leg of the trip, and we canceled that car rental because the first part went so poorly.
Yeah.
I forgot
Did you
about
guys grow
that.
up with like a minivan at least? Like your parents
100%.
gave you guys. Okay, good. So you had option to have space because the funniest idea in my head is like a family of five where you just have sedans your whole life. So the three kids are
yeah.
always crammed in
No,
the back.
that
in
would've been-
2015, we were grown adults.
That's hilarious.
Like,
That's
fully
hilarious.
Grown, out of college.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't.
And then
know
it's
why.
just
It was
like,
probably
"Stop
the cheapest-
touching me,"
It was
like-
probably the cheapest option or something.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So when we were in southern France, we were in Nice. We stayed at a convent. Yeah.
Yeah, my mom's-
True Catholic upbringing, right?
Yeah. Like
High school.
friend is a
Is a
nun.
nun?
Is a
Yes.
nun in France.
Oh, whoa. So,
So
is your
we-
mom really pushing the religion stuff in your family then more than your dad? Kinda sounds like she would be.
100% was. She doesn't push it anymore, but
Okay.
Yeah.
she was the driving force in
Yeah,
our family.
because she
with
was
religion.
born and raised Catholic, like her
Right.
generations.
Right.
Yeah.
Catholic.
And sidebar, are you guys going to church with Ben and going to raise him in the church as well?
We're not right now.
Mm-hmm. You can revisit this in a few
Yeah,
years.
that's a
Yeah.
big
When
question.
Ben's ready to make his own decisions.
No, I think the only reason why we've talked about it, the only reason why we might explore it is because we grew up going to church, but like the community that we built as Korean Americans
Right.
within Southern California
Right,
was
right.
really huge.
Of course, of course.
So that alone is like a big factor, but
Yeah,
religion wise, we don't really have that.
I know, that's the thing. So I'm talking to my fiance about this. She did not grow up religious at all. But ironically, she went to a Catholic high school, right? And her mom is like kind of religious, but Jaehyun's like not trying to bring a kid to church. I'm not really trying to go to church either, low key. But I would love to have my kid understand what a special community I had growing up in the church. But
Right.
you know, Korean American churches in California are its own thing.
Yeah,
So.
yeah.
You know, if we're living in Korea, we're not fucking going to church, dude. Hell no, dude. But if I get to live back in the Bay, you know, with my child, that'd be a
Yeah.
privilege. I'm definitely taking him to church or her to church. Yeah.
I mean, a lot of our closest friends are from church growing up, but
Yeah.
none of us go to church
Yeah,
anymore.
I know. Kids these days don't need church to meet other Koreans or Asians or people like them.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
Yeah.
But they might get corrupted by that shit too. You know. I just feel like these days it'll come up on my feed, right? Like TikToks or Instagram, whatever. Of like these like very scary looking young Asian kids who like look like they're very on top of like the culture.
What do you mean by
Like
scary?
face tattoos and like
Like how young? Teenagers?
not teenagers, but like 22, you know?
Oh,
These are
okay,
like the
okay.
generation influencing the kids, right? Like
Okay, yeah.
that's the way I look at it. So I don't know. Like, I don't know what kind of stuff my kid is going to get. Or, you know, even for Ben, like, he might grow up on some, like, weird influencer shit with some face tattooed Korean guy.
Why are you setting him up for that?
I'm only saying this because, like, okay, this is funny.
Oh,
so our
okay,
pastor
okay,
had,
okay.
there were 3 PKs in my vicinity that I was, like, kind of tight with growing up.
Okay.
And the youngest one is now a very successful entrepreneur. He has, like, an alcoholic beverage company that's really big in California among, like, the ratchet Asian kids. So I see his content all the time. And like he came to Korea recently trying to sell his product here. And he was like telling me like, Hyung, like I think like I know the algorithm. I know what to push. And like he's the one who he has a podcast now and it's really big. And it's all these ratchet 22-year-old San Luis Obispo kids. Like these like really
Koreans?
Yeah.
In San Luis Obispo?
Korean, Vietnamese, and Chinese. He's got it all well
okay.
represented.
I guess I just
Dude,
don't keep
I
up with
think I've
that world.
seen
Yeah,
that.
and a lot of them had like gone to jail. Like it's like an
wow.
interesting vibe. So
Yeah.
I bring that out not to call out like this podcast or Jeremy for that matter. I'm super proud of him, but I'm like I'm like, what's gonna get the clicks? It's gonna be these like Asian kids who talk about the most ratchet stuff because it's still kind of a novelty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even more so when we were young, right?
Yeah. Wait, so like talking about family trips isn't like super click worthy?
It's not. I mean, unless I'm like crazy.
Maybe we should shift
Yeah.
What's the most ratchet shit you ever did?
on a family trip. No. I'm so boring. I don't think I would.
You didn't get in
I don't
trouble
know
a
that
lot.
No.
I don't think Kay was.
I'm not really like a ratchet person. I say
mean,
all
you're
the
the
time,
oldest
like,
sister, so yeah.
I'm the oldest. I would in high school I'd like be wanting to hang out with my friends on weekends and stuff, like Friday nights. Like and I would stay past like curfew, which was like 7:00. And I would get in trouble in these fights with my parents about it. And I remember one time my brother or sister, like years later, was like, you were fighting so much and so hard with mom and dad that I thought you were on hard drugs. And like, that's why I thought you were fighting. And I was like, no, like, I was going out and literally going over with friends and playing board games.
Yeah,
like, we'd play like charades.
You were like studying for
like, it was
AP Bio.
so boring. It's
Yeah.
so
I know,
nerdy. And I think about that now. I'm like, if they could just see what I was doing, like,
They would have trusted you.
yeah.
like,
So all that to say, like,
Yeah.
no, I'm not.
Yeah, Kay is
not a
one of the
ratchet.
people
I'm probably
who
the least ratchet of the three of us.
her first alcoholic
Oh
beverage,
my
I
God, don't say
believe,
that. That's
was
embarrassing.
on her 21st birthday.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so
That's cute. That's proper though, you know, like that comment about like I thought you were on hard drugs. I feel like that's exactly something my sister would say. Of like, I thought you were gonna like do something you're gonna regret. It's
because of how much you were fighting.
like,
or like how
But I would
intensely
get
you-
mad for sure. My sister, God bless her, she like would just be pissed, like internally so pissed.
Yeah.
But she wouldn't be able to like really out piss my mom because my mom was like the most pissed. You know what I mean? So like, and if Nuna was like more pissed than mom would like go extremo mode, right? It's like you don't want to push mom into like psychotic territory. So my sister was always like, I'm so mad at mom, but like I can't. And I'm just like, I scream at mom. I like slam
Interesting.
doors. Yeah, I mean I was a brat for sure. Like
Yeah.
I mean younger siblings get it easier, 100%.
Yeah, I feel like Jay had it pretty.
Well, you're the only boy too.
And also, our younger sister didn't ever like go out. I feel
No,
like, yeah,
no.
she
Actually,
didn't
yeah,
care
I
to
take
do
it
that.
back. I'm not the least ratchet. My sister is the least ratchet.
Oh, interesting.
I don't even know that ratchet is even
Yeah,
like in our
ratchet's-
vocabulary. I've said
yeah.
it way more times in the last 10 minutes than I ever have.
Tell me about this RV trip to Vancouver. I'm curious about this.
It was too many people in an RV, like way too many. I don't know.
It was
RV?
one long RV. Probably, I mean, the biggest RV you can get, which is not enough to fit how many families we fit. We fit 3 families into one.
So 3 mommy and daddies, and then 3 sets of
3
kids.
sets.
3
of
mommy and daddies. So that's 6 full-grown adults.
Let's see.
do-
Okay, the family,
do the math.
there's a family of 5, a family of 4, and a family of, I guess, 4. Because
Yes.
actually, my now husband tagged along with
Cute.
With the family of 3.
Oh,
so he was
cute.
there.
Yeah, so we took this this RV with 13 people minimum, and we drove to from Orange County to Vancouver, and back.
up the coast.
That's like a 20-hour drive or something, right? Isn't it?
20
I think
hours
we-
spread across like
A few days.
10 days.
Something like that.
Okay.
10
10
days.
days
It was a
maybe or
while.
something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's insane.
But like, I feel like that kind of RV is like maybe for 2 families.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
4?
Or like one Lady
If
Gaga.
that. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, one of those buses.
Exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. Curious though, more than one more than one bathroom.
One bathroom.
Damn.
But the thing is
We stopped.
But you stayed at like Motel 6s and shit on the way or whatever.
mostly at RV parks. So
Okay.
you go to an RV park, you park your RV, you kind of plug in the sewage system into the ground, and then so you can funnel the.
No, totally. I did an
Feces.
RV trip with my grandparents when I was a kid.
Okay,
so
cool.
like,
So you
but
know-
we hated it.
You know what's up.
We hated it.
Yeah.
We hated every stop along the way because it was like this. It was like Motel 6 or Motel 8 were the only 2 places we stayed at. And my sister was like, Grandma, there's bugs in here. And my grandma would be like, that's not anything. Come on,
Yeah,
bugs.
yeah, yeah.
But you know, my sister's like a fucking 5th grader, you know? She's like, ew.
Yeah.
So I remember the whole time us being like, why did mom and dad put us in a car with grandma and grandpa for 3 weeks? This is the worst.
Yeah, I think that RV trip made me decide I never want to take an RV trip again.
I thought it was.
I would.
fun. I mean, it was a very impressionable time where I was in
Yeah,
like
we
maybe
were young.
middle
But you would do
school
it
and-
like as an
It was
adult with
fun.
your adult friends. Like honestly, the kids and how they feel about
Yeah,
the
I
trip,
guess
they're the
I-
least important people in the car, right?
Yeah.
When it comes to that.
But
I maybe
from my
consider it now.
perspective, I was like in middle school. It's like 2 youngs or two like older friends who I really liked hanging out with, and then one of my best friends, and then my family, and we're just like
Sounds lit.
Yeah.
you know,
we
every
were-
like gas station we go to, one of the parents will give us like $2 to get whatever
Yeah,
we
yeah,
wanted,
yeah.
and you get like.
I
an It's a
remember very
Kadoozy
little about
ice
what we
cream.
saw outside of the RV, but I remember like ice cream at the gas station
Yeah.
and the sewage thing for some reason.
Yeah, like watching them hook up that hose and
Yeah.
being like, is that where the
Yeah.
poo poo goes? Okay.
Yeah. For some reason, the things that stick out from that trip are Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Joe, yeah,
Joe's,
and Casey and Joe.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Got it. So it was like your music. You guys were controlling the playlist.
No. It was
I don't know. I
No.
actually don't remember the music much. I just
Bone
remember.
Thugs and Harmony was not gay.
Okay.
Not then.
Not
Not.
you want
Yeah.
something to share, Nate?
Yeah.
I think that was actually my ICD.
Oh,
That was
so
your
this is-
suggestion. Was it Boys in the Hood where you were playing, or
No, I believe it was like a.
that was your music though?
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
do believe-
That's
Yeah.
that's good taste in music though. I did not discover Bone Thugs until I was in college for sure.
Yeah, I think that's the same for me.
That was my start and finish to Bone Thugs.
Yeah.
What are like the big arguments you guys can remember from your family trips, if you're comfortable sharing any?
From like those early ones.
I don't think that I was conscious enough to remember. I think Kay probably
Or
would
even like
remember. Yeah.
like New Orleans or Spain, you know, like
I think from the earlier ones, like the Yellowstone trip, I think we'd argue over like what seats people could sit on,
classic.
or what
yeah.
seats, which of us would sit where. I don't remember arguing that much about anything that big.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we were in the car
Yeah.
for a long time, so we'd like definitely
Yeah.
bicker. Do you remember?
Actually, I do remember I was really into like wildlife at the time, and
I mean, still.
and
Yeah.
okay, still
Bro,
maybe.
Jay said to me like the other month, he's like, "Oh, I like bird watching. I want to get in bird watching." I was like, "Who
I
are
know,
you, man?
it's
What are you
so
talking
weird.
about? You're such a weirdo."
Nate, Kay's husband, got me a binocular.
Oh my God, when he bought that
Oh,
for
that's
you?
'cause- that's why you were like, my brother-in-law got me these.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Dude.
When he
That's what
got
it
that
was.
for Jay, he was like, I think I'm gonna get Jay these binoculars. I'm like, what? Like, okay, like whatever you think. And then he loved it. It seemed like when
No,
he
he
opened
did.
it.
He
So
told
I
us
was
all
like,
about it. He's like,
okay.
I'm getting into it, and we're like,
I really
okay,
was
dude.
like not on board with that at all.
Yeah, so we were in, Yellowstone, and there was a moose sighting, and I had this little pamphlet of like wildlife you can see in Yellowstone, and I wanted to see a moose so badly, and so like there's all this traffic because there's a moose sighting. People were getting out of their cars to go see this moose, and I was like, I need to see this moose. And my mom and dad were like, "No, we can't just stop here and just like go to see something that may not even be there when we get there." I don't know. And I started having this hissy fit and
I don't
crying.
even remember that.
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember. It was a.
Actually, I think I'm
still a
getting
little scarred by it. Yeah, actually.
Over a
I think I'm
moose?
getting
Yeah.
flashes of Jay, like like a car seat is like an L shape, and he went like full, like his head from here to there. and his legs up.
Oh, you know, just
Onto,
like
yeah,
like
yeah,
this.
exactly.
Oh, for sure, it's sliding under the seatbelt kind of deal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
thoughts on that.
I think that we should mention one of the topics we wanted to talk about with Kay originally on the podcast today, which is rom-coms, right? And we don't have to dedicate more than 20 minutes to the topic, but I'm curious, Kay, rom-coms are your favorite genre, right?
Yeah, I think it took me a long time to admit that, but yes. Yeah.
Nice. What was the first rom-com that you just like couldn't not get enough of?
Probably You've Got Mail.
Okay.
I watched that in the theater.
Uh-huh. I
So,
think I did too, actually, yeah.
So that stayed with me. And then I just like, I don't know. I mean, I know that it's like a cult classic and it has a big, like, you know.
Do you see Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks as the like duo when it comes to rom-coms?
Yeah, because I would say of all the favorite rom-coms that I have, it's You've Got Mail. What's the other one?
Sleepless.
Sleepless in Seattle is a good one.
Yeah.
Oh, When Harry Met Sally. But
Yeah.
I guess Meg Ryan is like my rom-com queen.
Right.
She's
and then
in
she
all
always dates like
three of
curly-haired like
Yes,
brunette
she's
boys.
like the lead in all of those.
She is. And also she was so pretty in the 90s. So I watched Sleepless in Seattle for the first time, trying to do research for the episode. I liked how emotionally invested you were with the son and the father. It's really a father-son type of story in the beginning, right? So he loses his wife, Tom Hanks. His son wants his dad to get back with a woman, basically like calls a hotline on the radio, tells his dad's story, go viral. I didn't know anything about the plot. So I was like, this is actually a very, I can totally get into this, right? So I liked that. But then what I realized is that what Nora Ephron's really good at is she's really good at writing dialogue that girls want to hear and putting it into the mouths of men, right? Because in that movie, he's like describing what he loved about his wife before she died, right? And he's like, all it took was like one touch of her hand, like as she got out of the car, and I just know that girls are like, oh, it's just one touch, and then at the end of the movie, he fucking grabs Meg Ryan's hand, and then you're like, oh, he's feeling this, you know, like it's obviously word porny, you know what I mean? It's like
I feel like to call it word porny makes it feel like it's almost manipulative in a way, like verbally manipulative. But I think she just has a way of like, knowing the female mind.
Because Harry Met Sally, like
tapping into that.
she's talking about the female orgasm in that movie. That was just, I'm sure, was so groundbreaking for that time. So I understand, like Nora Ephron as a sort of feminist figure. Didn't know much about her, honestly, but then I read, like, actually, she got in a lot of fights with feminists, too, about, like, kind of the agenda she was put. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so anyway, it made me think, like, who would be the equivalent to Nora Ephron today, right? Because I feel like Lena Dunham was the closest we've got to, but then she got canceled a few years ago.
Not it.
That's not it.
Me.
Then who is?
I don't know. I don't know that there is one.
Greta Gerwig, maybe.
Maybe, but like I feel like Greta Gerwig is a different.
Yeah, it's more like coming of age.
Genre.
She's very
coming
of age.
Totally.
Yeah, that's true.
I think like Nancy.
I can look it up right now. It's complicated.
And
directed by Nancy Meyers.
Nancy Meyers. Oh my
Nancy
God,
Meyers.
I could not think of it. I mean, she's not like a new young ingenue, but like.
Oh, I recognize her.
Recent.
Oh, What Women Want?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so I guess it's like it's tiny bit of an offshoot, but it's still rom-comming. Like I love Nancy Meyers movies.
Ooh,
For sure.
Father of the Bride.
Yes.
Those are,
No, that's classic.
Yeah, that's
that's
probably
classic.
also not a rom-com though. I guess
Not really,
just more of a comedy.
It's like a love letter from a father to his daughter.
Yeah.
My sister loves that movie. Actually,
It's
I
like
do
one of
too.
my favorite movies.
Yeah.
She also did The Parent Trap, I guess. Yeah. Oh, what a
Yeah.
legend.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so What Women Want. Love that rom-com, actually. I rewatched it, unironically. Like, I just remember liking that movie
I
when I
haven't
was a
seen that in
kid.
so long, yeah.
It holds up. I mean, the jokes are super sexist, but if you can get past that hurdle and just accept the premise for what it is,
Okay.
it's
also
like...
that it's Mel Gibson, right?
It's also Mel Gibson. But it's like Mel Gibson playing like the chauvinist male who thinks that, he's like better than his female colleagues. So like that's a good premise. That holds up, right? I like horror movies, right? And when people ask me why I like horror, I always say I like it when the tropes are well established. And then what you can have fun as a viewer or as a filmmaker is like upending expectations and making it different. So for example, like What Women Want is kind of upending the trope in that way of like, the guy's not likable at all. I feel like that was a more like late 90s thing introduced of like, these are not charming men who like are lost and like bereaved. These are like assholes and they don't deserve to like love, essentially, you know?
I'm trying to think of other ones that have that sort of
I feel like, let's see.
premise.
We have a whole like list here. Let's see.
because of the ones that come to mind for me, the male leads
Oh, How to
are
Lose a Guy.
How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
That's like a very
McConaughey.
similar vein, right? How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
But he's totally likable in that movie.
Well, he's trying to basically seduce her to win a bet. So
right,
it's got
but
that
like
10 things kind of vibe
outside
too.
of that relationship, still he's like a charming,
True.
likable, you know.
True. I mean, but Mel Gibson, I
Character.
guess, is likable. Like he's a widower, I think, in the movie. He has like a teenage daughter. So like,
yeah,
there's like
that's
certain
right.
things established, right?
Sure.
To like make it. Anyway, it's just interesting because I'd imagine with rom-coms, you want there to be something interesting
Yeah,
into
yeah.
it, right? Like,
Yeah.
for example, have you seen any like more modern ones? Like,
Yeah, what have I seen recently? Like, there's one with Zoe Deutsch and I don't know his name, but they set up so the leads work for these like kind of like high intensity like employers.
yeah, with
whatever. They're,
Lucy
like-
Liu,
Yes,
Tay Diggs,
and
Zoe
then
Diggs.
they're
Okay.
so like high strung that their assistants, who are the main characters,
Have to
like
set them- I
they're-
remember.
they set them up so that they can like find them and like relax.
Okay, that's a
little
fun.
bit, I
That's a
think is
fun
the
premise. That's a fun premise.
Yeah, that was like semi enjoyable. I feel like nothing, any rom com I've seen in the last, I don't know, 20 years doesn't hit home the way that,
Old
you know,
school
a You've Got
Nora
Mail or
Ephron,
When
I
Harry Met
see.
Sally or My Best Friend's Wedding, like those. Like
My
I
Best Friend's
just-
Wedding. I'm so glad you brought that up. What I love about that movie is that not a happy ending, right? Well, in terms
not-
of Julia
yeah,
Roberts doesn't get the
spoiler
guy,
alert.
you know, and such a valuable lesson. I think that is like not even a rom com; it's more like a life lesson movie. It's like
I think it's funny you say that because I don't think I liked that movie that much because of the ending.
you wish that maybe
Yeah, or like she
he
wasn't that
just
likable.
dumped Cameron Diaz.
And you couldn't really get on board with her because she was like so mean in the movie.
Julia Roberts?
Yes, Julia Roberts.
Yeah, she was
character.
very unlikable.
So, yeah, I think what I like about rom coms is that it's like comfortable and everyone's sort of like the thing that makes it a rom com is that they meet,
they
there's
end
a
up, yeah.
thing and the conflict, and then they.
Well, it's funny because so in Shakespeare, it's like you can't distinguish between like rom-coms, basically comedies, like tragic comedies. There's a lot of like nuance, but one thing that scholars agree on is that if it ends in a wedding, it's straight up a comedy. Like you can't dispute it.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think I've heard this.
Yeah, so it's
sort of,
like, but that's like, you know, Shakespeare was always about like chaos and then when everything's okay at the end. But it always is okay when like the women are back at home and like the husband is like reunited with his betrothed and stuff like that. Because I was trying to think, what is the history of a rom-com, you know? Like, are we talking about Chaucer's like Wife of Bath, you know, which has romantic and comedic elements? Like, are we talking about Middle English? Are we talking about Shakespeare? That's like the literature person in me, right?
Yeah, you kind of lost me there.
But you know, like I think rom-coms have also existed in like American cinema well before like the Nora Ephron
yeah.
stuff.
I know. I think that like original. What's the like? The
Like, you know,
first
men
is, like,
prefer blondes or
like,
something. Meet me in St.
early
Louis. Yeah.
cinema, I guess. But yeah, to me, the rom com is like probably like early '80s, right?
Yeah. Were you a big John Hughes fan as well? Like 16 Candles stuff?
Not
or-
really, and I feel like that's like a different thing on its like it's like a
It's a generational
coming of
thing too.
age.
You were born in 1985, right?
Wow, thanks
Well, 'cause
for
you're my sister's age.
outing me. Yeah. Yes, 1985. So like also I was too young to really like have an awareness
Yeah,
of
totally.
like what was going on in those movies when
Yeah.
they came out, and then by the time I saw them, I think I just like didn't
Yeah,
connect
consciousness
to them.
begins-
Weirdly though, like I watched When Harry Met Sally, which came out in
Yeah.
the late 80s, and I
Yeah.
like fully
Interesting.
enjoyed that.
Interesting. Now that you are married though, do you think that there's like a different thing that you get from a rom-com versus when you were younger?
Oh, I don't know. That's a good question. I don't feel like because all the rom-coms that I do enjoy are older and I've already like seen them so many times, it's just like a nostalgic thing
Yeah,
to me.
totally.
So I don't really apply like a different
Yeah, you're watching them more for like how they make you feel.
Yeah, it's kinda
they
like a
return to
capsule.
you. Yeah, I see. Because
Yeah.
like also when I was watching Sleepless in Seattle with my fiance, like that movie is all about Meg Ryan being like, I don't know if I want to marry this guy. So I kept looking at Jan being like, am I like boring or something? You gotta just tell me, dude. Like, you know,
Yeah,
like, is there something that you want to say to my
I've
face?
ever like watched a rom com and been like, oh, like how does this apply to my relationship? Maybe I should.
I mean, I think
But-
you know, me and my fiance are in that space where like anytime people are talking about marriage or anything that like we can't help but kind of apply it to ourselves. Yeah.
Well, I definitely do the thing where like, and not specific to rom coms, but like if we watch a lot of Korean dramas or like movies. Like if I see something happening, I'm like, why don't you do that to me? Or like, I'll get mad at the character, and I'm like, you would do that too. Like,
You know, I mean, girls like I think the movie Don Juan with Joseph Gordon-Levitt is the movie that introduced this idea to me. But he's like, girls watch Disney and guys watch porn. Like that was like kind of the thesis of that movie.
what movie is that?
It's called Don. It's pronounced Juan. Actually, it's based on a poem. But
Oh, when did that come out?
it
I
came
don't
out
even-
2017ish. It's about him playing like this very hot guy, JGL. I don't think he's that hot. Actually,
He's supposed to be hot.
Same.
He's supposed to be hot.
Not into him.
He's supposed to be like mega hot, and he's just like sleeping with all these girls. And Scarlett Johansson is his like girlfriend. And
So what did
so,
you say?
so
So
girls, the fantasy for girls is like the romance stuff, right? The Disney stuff, the rom com stuff. And
Okay.
for guys, it's like the
Somebody
hardcore
order
porn
pizza.
stuff. I don't know.
I mean, I think that's a big generalization, though.
I know.
Yeah. Somebody would.
You know, we were having a debate too. Like, have you seen I Love You, Man? Or like,
Yes, is
Yeah.
that with Paul Rudd? And yeah. I've
It's
seen
like,
that.
yeah, I mean, it's just, like the debate was what is a rom com?
Right.
You know?
I would
'cause-
not call that a rom com.
Yeah, and so there was
I
this
guess not. I
article
guess not.
that I thought was actually really good. I think it was on Good Housekeeping.
EW.
Yeah, EW.
Yeah.
It was on
You
EW.
guys frequenting
good housekeeping.
housekeeping?
You fucking sexist motherfucker, dude.
And
Okay.
this writer's her point was that rom-com, the film's primary comedic tension derives from a central romantic relationship, and so there are a lot of comedies, romantic movies where there's a love interest, but then it's not necessarily like that's not like
The romance isn't driving the plot. is what you're saying.
exactly. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I Love You, Man. It's like there's Paul Rudd and
Jason Segel.
right.
Yeah,
Thing
yeah. I
is,
feel like
like,
that is a
the friendship.
comedy.
Right.
Right.
Let's try and like Scott Pilgrim came up. Someone
Yeah.
brought that up.
Yeah.
Scott Pilgrim. Have you seen that film, Scott Pilgrim?
I
versus the
haven't, but
World?
like I already
Yeah.
am like, I don't think so.
Honestly, if Kay hasn't like seen it, then it's,
Yeah.
I don't think it's a rom com
Well, okay.
either.
How about
That's probably a good barometer.
another one that came up was The Princess Bride.
Yes, I also don't think that's a
Don't
rom
think
com.
so.
Me too.
Yeah.
And
That is like a thing though, like a
it's a comedy. It's definitely a comedy.
The guy gets the girl at the end.
Yeah, but then like they were in love with each other, so there was actually no really conflict between
two
whether or
of
not
them.
they would get together. It was him trying to get to her in the end, and
Right.
he went through all these different obstacles.
Yeah.
and It's more of like an adventure, like family kind of movie.
It's like a
so-
romance or like a comedy with
So then, what about
romantic
Big Fat
elements.
Greek Wedding? Because that's
Big
often
Fat Greek
heralded as the
Wedding.
top rom com. And
Same for that. I love Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Uh-huh.
Big Fat. Love that movie. I feel like the conflict is with like the family,
exactly.
not between the two
But
of
I mean,
them.
but to use like the broad definition of if the central conflict is romantically related, relationally related, I mean, who's to say that a movie about getting to know your in-laws isn't a rom-com? Like Meet the Fockers would be a really extreme kind of use of that definition, right? Like we don't think of that as a rom-com, but essentially he's trying to ingratiate himself to his in-laws.
But like
and-
Jay just said, the central.
fair enough.
I
Fair
feel
enough.
like both of those, Big Fat and also.
Scott Pilgrim also wouldn't be then. How about like oh, you know one I really did like recently was Always Be My Maybe. Did you watch that one?
I did with Ali Wong.
What'd you think?
It was okay. I know I enjoyed it when I watched it.
Yeah.
I think like
I haven't rewatched
I
it.
haven't. Yeah.
I don't think I would, to be honest. Yeah.
I know. I feel like if I'm not like really dying to rewatch it, did I really like it the
Right.
first time? Is what I'm
True,
thinking
true.
right now. But I enjoyed it at the time.
What about Long Shot? You watched that one?
Is that with Justin Long and Drew Barrymore?
No, it's with
Oh.
what's his name? Seth Rogen and
Oh,
Charlize Theron.
I did
yeah.
not see
Whoa,
that.
never
no.
heard
It was
of
actually pretty funny.
I didn't see that. I probably like just knowing what kind of like baseline what it's about. I feel like that was just a comedy.
Yeah, but I mean, the central thing is like
what's the
it's so
premise
basically
there?
Seth Rogen as a kid is babysat by Charlize Theron, who turns into a presidential candidate, and then because she knows him from childhood or something, like he somehow gets brought into the entourage to help her with like win the presidency, essentially.
campaign manager?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Do they end up together?
They do.
Oh, interesting.
It like ends with him being like first man in the White House.
Yeah,
It's a
I
good
don't
ending.
know.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Okay.
Now I'm not gonna check it out.
Now you know the ending.
Yeah.
To close out, though, I do want to pick your brain about, how would you, as an expert in rom-com history and appreciation, how would you, like, I guess, progress the formula? What is something that you think that rom-coms could take more risks with, or what are things that you feel are indispensable? Like, there needs to be a hot-ass guy as a lead versus, say, maybe someone mopey like Seth Rogen.
I don't know that it has to be a, quote, hot-ass guy. Because, like, honestly, Tom Hanks isn't like this suave, debonair guy. He's just like sort of normal.
You know what it is with Tom?
But he's
sincere.
charming
Yeah,
and
he's very
yeah.
sincere. Yeah.
So I don't know. I think going back to like my best friend's wedding, which I do enjoy, but I think what is challenging for me in terms of like rom-com is that like I want to be able to root for the main characters, and I want to be able to, I like to root for them to get together.
Right.
So when I don't, it just doesn't feel like,
Yeah.
But that I think is important, rooting for the characters to be together, and then like rooting for them as almost individuals. Like, I don't know, enjoying them as characters, and then like they're gonna get together, but just that like maybe not like in When Harry Met Sally, when he's just like, no, I'm just friends, or like he's
Harry Met Sally always trips me out, dude, because it's like, I think rom-coms with like the friend, will they, won't they, versus like the asshole in my office. Like there's different tropes,
That's
right?
probably my favorite,
Yeah, but the
yeah.
friend, will they, won't they is
Yeah.
always like, have you seen Just Friends with Ryan Reynolds and Amy Smart?
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I loved that one just because I thought he was funny. But like anyway, like friendship rom-coms, I think, are like working on a different kind of like core, like.
And that I think You've Got Mail definitely plays into that, and I think that might be why you are so into that.
maybe,
one.
yeah.
I will conclude with a recommendation. I hope that you haven't seen it, so you can go research it. There is a Paul Rudd, Amy Poehler romantic comedy. It's called They Came Together. It's directed by David Wayne, who did Wet Hot American Summer. It's a surrealist comedy.
It new?
It came out maybe actually by this point, probably almost 10 years ago.
Oh.
But it's an anti-rom-com. It's hilarious. I think
Okay.
you'd really like it, especially if you like are a fan of the old school stuff.
Yeah.
And I'll leave it there. For the viewers out there, if you want to check out some rom-coms, link in the description below. Any parting words, Kay, for your debut on the podcast?
I don't know. You guys didn't ask me what my favorite punchan is.
Oh, that's what.
Are you guys
what
still
we're gonna
doing
ask.
that? I
Yeah.
haven't
What's
done
your
it in a
favorite
while,
punch?
Oh, you guys don't do that anymore. Sorry.
No.
No.
But what?
Embarrassing.
Yeah.
Well, hey. And so to conclude the episode, okay, what's your favorite pantan?
I'm really into mumalengi.
Mumal.
The
Wow.
fuck?
It's
what is
like
that?
dried radish, I guess.
Yeah.
I actually, now that I'm saying it, I don't even know. Sometimes you
Mumalengi.
eat Korean food and you've eaten it all
Yeah,
your life,
yeah,
and then you have no
100.
idea what the ingredients are.
Yeah.
I think it's like dried mu, and then it's spicy, like
Like like it's
is
served with like
is it called
Chut. Yeah,
chocolate?
it's a chut.
chuck-
Yeah.
chuck- yeah.
I don't know now.
It's served with
Chokai.
like yeah.
Okay, I think
Chut means nipple.
I
yeah.
think I picked a really bad panchan because neither of you guys.
I don't know, but I mean, we'll put a picture of it on the
It's
link
good.
in the
It's like
description.
chewy,
You're gonna-
kind of crunchy.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's
Picture of
spicy.
a chuck- yeah, a nipple.
She likes spicy radish. You heard it here first.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in to this episode of the Side Dish Podcast. Kay, thank you so much for being on.
Thanks for having
Thanks
me.
to your husband, Nate, for being a good sport and just sitting there for an hour. And with that said, we'll catch you guys in the next episode.